Alright, today now we're going to do a DOT, full DOT pre-trip inspection on our Freightliner. Alright, first, you got to start out in the front. You just want to look at everything as a whole, make sure, you know, nothing's missing. Like, I want to look at the windshield, make sure that they're not cracked or anything like that. You want to look at the whole integrity of the truck. And, you know, check your mirrors, make sure that they're not all messed up, you know, broken and whatnot. Check and make sure they're not cracked or discolored. You want to check it, you know, everything. Yeah, this one here is junk. Right there. You want to check, you know, all along the hood. You want to check your headlights. The discoloration of this lens will make you probably want to get that taken care of. And then you also want to look under the truck, just make sure that there's no oil leaking or, you know, fuel, coolant, you know, any other fluids throughout the truck. Now we're going to open up the hood. Alright, you want to look, when you want to open up the hood, you want to look at your air compressor. You want to make sure that it's securely mounted and, you know, there's no cracks in it, no damage, nothing leaking out of it. And you want to, right here is a gear driven air compressor. And you just want to look at it, you know, and everything. And then you want to check your starter to make sure that, you know, everything's in place, you know, it's tight. The holes, nothing's cracked, broken, or anything. And then you also want to look, you know, at all your fluid tanks, like they're not cracked or leaking, and they're securely mounted. You want to make sure that those fluids are up to par. And then, let's see what else. You want to look at your steering box, your gearbox. You want to look at your three-piece unit here. Make sure there's no, everything's securely mounted. You know, everything's greased up nice and everything, and nothing's broken, bent, or missing. And you want to come over to your brakes here. You just want to look at everything over, you know, make sure there's no leaks, nothing's missing. You know, you just want to, it's very repetitive, just make sure nothing's broken on it. And you want to make sure that there's 1/2 to 3/4 inch of free play. That is what is allowed, and that is perfect right there. Make sure that your S-cam bracket and going into your brake housing, nothing's missing, broken, you know, cracked, or everything's bolted down securely. On this side of the truck, looking pretty good. Now we'll move on.
You want the tires too.
Oh yeah.
Talk about the tires, dude.
Okay. You want to check out your tires. You want to make sure there's nothing on the walls of the tire. You know, you gotta make sure that your front tread is 4/32. That is the minimum spec for your front steer tires. And they gotta be, your front steers have to be up at 100 psi. And you want to make sure, and also you want to look at your rim. Look at everything on the rim. And you want to look at your valve stem. Make sure everything's, you know, tight. Make sure it's not broken, no air's leaking out of it. And you want to make sure that there's no damage to the rim. You know, no welds, no cracks, no, you know, severe rusting. And you also want to look at your lug nuts. Make sure that they're tight. Make sure there's no rusting here, because that would indicate that you have a loose lug nut, and you don't want that, because then that can cause problems down the road. You also want to look at your wheel bearing here. Make sure that the housing isn't cracked, you know, no fluids are running out of it. And, you know, look at the inside of your hub too. You can also look to make sure nothing's cracked, you know, or illegal welds on it. And yeah.
Yeah, and you want to check the inside in case you got wheel seals blown out, you know, for fluids and stuff, and steer axle for cracks, bends, welds. Yeah.
Yeah. And now we can go on the other side if you'd like.
Alright, should we go to the other side?
Yes.
Alright, let's do that.
Alright, and now on this side, you can, you know, check over your airbox, make sure everything's, you know, secure, you know, nothing's cracked, missing, or broken. And you just want to look at your belt. Make sure there's 3/4 of an inch of play, you know, just so it's nice and tight. And then come up back over here, you know, you want to look at, inspect your tires, your rims, all your lug nuts for, you know, for their crackness and broken or illegal welds. And check your air chamber again. Make sure there's up to 3/4 of an inch of movement, and that everything's looking good here. There's nothing. You also want to check on your axles, your U-joints, or your bolts. Make sure that they're not missing, cracked, broken. Look at all your leaf springs and your shocks and everything. You just want to make sure nothing's, you know, out of order. Got a little bit of a rainstorm today.
Whoa. Alright, so we're on the in-cab portion of our inspection here. And then I guess what you want to check is, you know, that you can see out of your mirrors, they're all adjusted properly. And you want to check your windshield, your side windows. Make sure there's not any junk on them. Make sure they're not cracked. Then you want to check, make sure all your gauges and everything works properly. You want to check all your gauges, make sure they work properly. And make sure your dash is all intact. Make sure, you know what I mean, everything's here and like mounted securely. Make sure your panels are all there. And yeah, you want to make sure you have no like check engine lights or anything. Make sure your horns work. Yeah, rip the Johnny bar, make sure that works. Yeah, the park and brake and everything all works. Yeah, that works. And yeah. Alright, so now we're gonna test the leakage, and what you want to do is push down your brake pedal, and you're not supposed to lose more than 4 psi over a minute. So I'm gonna push that down, and we'll let it sit here for a while and see if it goes down at all. Should we sit here for a whole minute, or should we just say? It's not really leaking down much, so it should be good, but you should actually test it for a minute. And then now I'm going to run the brakes down, or I'm going to keep pressing the brakes until I run the air down and see if the light comes on for low air pressure. That light comes on, so that's probably low air pressure, so that works, so we're good.
Alright, we're going to start behind the cab now. Look at our fuel tanks. Make sure the cap is on there. Chain on there. And make sure you take a look on the bottom of it. Make sure there ain't no leaks down there. When you come back and you take a look at all the bolts and everything, make sure they're all there, not loose. Leaf springs, your suspension, everything's there. Your U-bolts aren't loose. When we go to the tires, yeah, in the rear, you have to have at least 2 30-seconds, which we have plenty. And look at the rims, same thing. No welds, illegal welds. Lug nuts are all tight. And then we come look at the fifth wheel, make sure this works, which it does. Brake chambers, make sure pull the cap, make sure the springs aren't broken in them. So all the lights are working, all the lights that are in the rear of the truck are there, not broken, not discolored. Look at your airbags, make sure they're not ripped, tore, leaking. If you hear a leak, it's automatic out of service. What else we gotta look at on here?
Now we're going to talk about the fifth wheel. You got to make sure it's spaced properly. Make sure that everything moves all freely, nothing's all locked up in there. And then you have to make sure the mounts aren't bent, damaged, or broken. Everything's all secured properly to the truck. Now we're going to talk about the exhaust. Make sure that nothing's busted off it. There's no leaks. Easy to see leaks. There'll be a black ring around where it's leaking.
sure it's all ran properly.
Alright, so we're going to inspect the fifth wheel. Making sure everything is.
We're gonna talk about the airbags. Make sure that there's no leaks in them. When you jack the suspension up, it's not leaking at all. Make sure it's not cracked. Make sure they're mounted securely, not wiggling around. Make sure the lines are all properly in there. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, yeah, flathead. Make sure that all the seals in there are good. That one looks pretty good. That one looks pretty good. Make sure that the electrical's not all up. Make sure plug into the trailer decent. Well, then we gotta make sure the tractor protection valve looks all good, make sure it's mounted properly, not flapping in the wind. Make sure it's not all clapped out.